still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Oh yeah, ooh Lord. And if you don't give it, you won't get it, that's right. I give her all my love. Hey, run that shit up, Chase.
I came from the streets to the shy, where wicked and evil collide. If it was illegal, we tried ambition to get us a piece of the pie. Had so many demons inside, was dim in the gleam of my eye, killing my innocence, all of my vision. I'm reading the sign and seeing demise. We've been deprived the basic necessities, that and cocaine, a satanic recipe. Refusing to claim it as destiny, sins of the fatherly children in jeopardy. The family addiction affected me, affliction of prison, the death of me. Not even the thought of my legacy, living in hell, how you hating your pedigree. Been definitely holding the grudge, letting it go cause no hoe is in us. If we don't connect then you know what it was. One West and no cowards is rolling with us. Steps was all in the mud, feeling the pain like salt in the cut. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love, yeah. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. The blessing is all of these lessons, no question we taught them in blood. It's all for the love. I get an honor to command and Jenna Johanna for being the armor, protecting the message, delivered the Abba, straight from the Father. He gave it to you, ain't making excuse. Though Satan is loose, kept lacing his boots, training and raising the troops, perfecting the method of 7-1 West in the hairs was able to prove. Ain't stressing them niggas that never can step in the stand and stating the truth. My people could never imagine the hardest of winners you lasted. Extending the realest compassion for niggas that should have been fitted for caskets. How could you ever ignore the nigga who slept on the floor and was ready for war? Whenever it called, better this weapon is drawn. Election is sure, edging this war, front of projects of the Bronx. Now representing the Lord, the water for blessing us all.
It's like a pretty good. So, here, we on. All right, Shalom Israel. It's ISBK Chicago Roundtable of Truth. This is episode 1 of the dashboard discussion. You understand? Right now, I got these 3 men with me. I'm Officer Lamakiala. We got Officer 1000 Warrior in the building. We got Officer 1000 Kazaiwan and Officer 1000 Rummelwan. We out here headed right now to Ohio, basically Cleveland. You understand? We about to go kick it with those brothers down there, show some brotherhood, sisterhood, or whatever the case may be. You understand? So what this channel is going to be doing now is we're going to be talking about real life events in the truth while we're on the road. We might as well utilize all the time we got to bring up real situations or whatever the case may be. You understand? To the people near you. So we have one topic we're going to bring up real quick. It's nasty as hell. It's evil as hell. And we're just going to talk about it. You understand? So if you don't mind pulling up that picture of Shaw, you know, into 2024, one topic that's always going to be relevant is these abortions. Right. Like, these females and these brothers are so quick to unalive these kids because they don't want to take the responsibility of being an adult or being a parent. They think the best option is to get rid of the child. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this. So this sign on the rib is talking about this mom is at a rally, an abortion rally, trying to promote her reasoning on why she supports abortions or whatever the case might be with her daughter. Take that into account. With her daughter, and their sign says, "I want my daughter to have I want my daughter to have the abortion rights I never had." Shit is crazy. Now I'm gonna let y'all in the car say something real quick before I just get livid. Cause it's irritating. I got 3 kids myself.
Right.
This makes me livid as hell. So I'm gonna let y'all say y'all piece before I decide to just get angry. So anyone want to say something?
So unless you want to go off.
Go ahead.
If I could.
What people ain't really trying to understand, or they ain't even trying to see, is that at a young age, at a very, very young age, not to be accountable for decisions that you make. You're promoting autism, and you don't even know. Subconsciously, you don't even know that you know autism. It's just crazy. You teach it. Okay, I can go ahead unsolicited sex, and I don't have to worry about it because I got to get out of jail free card, so I can always go to the free clinic and have an abortion, so I can have as much sex as I want, and I don't have to worry about anything. It's crazy.
Hey, on your point, now think about this. She's at the rally with her daughter talking about she wishes she had the rights to be able to unalive in abortions right now with her daughter next to her. That means she never wanted this girl.
Right.
She's saying she didn't want the daughter she has right now because she wishes she had the opportunity to unalive her kid in the clinics. Hey, you understand? She's having her daughter promote the same thing. She's having her daughter promote her own unbirthing. That's insanity.
If I may say, it sounds like she's picking and choosing what child to love. Like, do you care care about this child? Like, when you birth this child, do you care about this child, or do you want to throw one away in the garbage? Like, that's crazy. For Blacks, Hispanics, and North America, it is for us to care about our people, but you think that you have the option to throw your child in the garbage. It's just crazy. It's like,
You're right. Go ahead.
You want some? Cause I run one before I go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just to go off the top. Did it just show you how America destroys? They try to use our women to destroy and commit genocide on our people. You know what I'm saying? If you ever notice, a lot of the genocide that they try to commit on our people, they use our women to do. And you see, this is a perfect example. Not only are they using a woman to do it, but now that teaching that she's getting, or that she feels she's teaching, she's bringing it right over to her daughter. Now her daughter's gonna teach her daughter that. Now just because it's just like these women that grow up and say, "Oh, my son can be whatever he want to be," or "My daughter can be whatever they want to be," when really, it's only one thing you can be, and that's the way the Lord made you. But they're teaching our kids how to destroy themselves before they even become an age where they can, actually be able to make their own decisions or make the right decisions.
yeah, right.
I'm gonna interject real quick. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
But what you're saying is so heavy, but at the same time, what we gotta understand is with this pro-abortion and this choice of life aspect that they're trying to say is after a certain point in time, the children aren't gonna be here. Right? Like of course they're so-called teaching the children, like she's trying to teach her daughter that it's okay to unalive the child. It's her body, her choice, whatever. Right. At a certain period of time, women are gonna stop wanting to have children, right? Because their body and their so-called health is going to be more important to them before the child is possibly conceived. So as far as we go down the line, children are going to be born less. The statistics of children's births and unalivings are going to tip the scales. Right now, children being born at a higher rate than being unalived. But if be higher than children birthed.
Facts.
Now we're going to be decreasing as a Black, Hispanic, Native Indian race
Right.
because this pro-choice nonsense. That's the whole dilemma. Dilemma isn't about whether or not it's right or wrong, which is definitely wrong. But in America's but in real society's aspects, the whole issue is that what we're doing is we're slowly decreasing our race. The same way back in Egypt. Back in Egypt, the Pharaoh made it so that if it was a son that was born when it came to the children of Israel, that they had to unalive the newborn baby boy because they wanted to decrease our numbers. And Margaret Sanger, the one that founded Planned Parenthood, her point was they don't want us to rise in number. If we rise in number, and then we rise in morals, we rise in coming together as a nation, then we become a threat to the so-called white man society. become a threat to Christianity, become a threat to America. So they got this pro-choice shit in our faces and let our women believe they're independent or they can't do this if they have a baby or they can't do that if they're pregnant. So now the more kids that don't get birth is beneficial for the American society. And that's the whole point. I can't get it to you first when I cut off Warrior. So Warrior, go ahead and say what you want to say.
It's just, another aspect that I want to bring that, is people, they may not realize it, but the subconscious, women are really picking the man that they want to basically terrorize for the rest of their life. Who they want to be attached to or who they don't. Because the child that they decide that they want to have or they want to have, that's the man that they want to have some type of attachment in the long run. So when they because most of the time they just having a baby just to have an attachment, but not really to have, an actual relationship or be with the father and raise a family. But they know at the end of the day, because they're really not looking for marriage at a young age, when they get to that point where it's that they have that they hit that what they call it wall. Now they have somebody they can go back to that they have this attachment. And I always can say, okay, well, we got a child together. They always have some type of be able to have some type of communication with that person, and they selectively doing that. And that's one of the things that's really I'm looking at is destroying our nation also, because you don't want you want to have fun and you want to whore yourself out, but at the same token you hoping that this man that you decided not to be with when you was young having a child develops herself into something whereas that now I can benefit off of it and I can get something to take care of myself at my old age at the rest of my for the rest of my life.
But what you're saying is so heavy because you gotta think. Really, what you're saying is women are using children just to catch a bag.
Right.
Once women nowadays have a child, the first thing they go to, child support. That's the first thing they go to, or divorce and all that nonsense, because the American society is geared to uplift women when it comes to finances. You understand? Men don't get benefits like women do in America because the whole economy is to separate the black household, man and woman, and separate them completely, saying if you want to have success in America, you need to not have a black man. And at the same time, still leech off the black man.
Right.
They say, oh, if you don't want a baby, then don't have a baby. You have the right to do that. But if you have a baby, you can still get rid of the man, make him pay you for having the baby every month. Now it oppresses the black man, uplifts the black woman, and destroys the child. Mm-hmm. So it's a 3 for 3. It's almost like a Wendy's 4 for 4.
Right.
At this stage, like that's the whole
right.
point. Yep. They destroying you 3 ways, north, east, south, and then they hit you with the west saying, you know what? The woman's in charge at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Right. You can't have a man at all if you want child support. And that's the thing. But Kazan, you got something to say?
Yeah. Also, I'm just putting in the ear of the people, man. Like, you got to realize something.
No, speak up. Speak up.
So I forget.
Yeah.
So like men are not known to be the preservers of kids, of children. So of course everybody looks at us as like we can't take care of a child ourselves. Like, so what I see is I see a lot of women looking at us like, well, if I'm not here, then you ain't gonna take care of the kids, or you ain't gonna be able to be there for the kids, or whatever like that. And I know a lot of excellent fathers. Lamar is an excellent father. I'm an excellent father. I'm there with my son all the time. So it's just I don't know. I think a lot of times that mothers just see us not be the headquarters
like
of
the
headquarters of our children. Right. So that was all. That
what we were saying, the misconception of a father not being good enough to raise his own children without a woman is what Americans make sure to preach. Mm-hmm. You understand? That's why 90% of women get the children whenever a relationship splits. because they want to give the false narrative that men cannot raise children without a woman, and that's complete nonsense. Why? Because a man is a disciplinarian. A man is one that enforces rules and morals and instructions and guidance to the children. Unfortunately, I'm not saying women you can't raise children. Y'all can raise children, like we always say. Y'all the ones that love and nurture and protect children from the outside world. You want to shield them. That's great. You want to do an amazing job with that. When at least when the man is in the household, at least. But by yourself, a man is more likely to succeed with his children only because he teaches them the truth about the world. That has nothing to do with emotions or certain or whatever the case. A man makes sure that he teaches, says do this, don't do that, and he'll punish when punishment is fit. But unfortunately, women in 2024 only feed off of how the kid feels. If the kid feels this type of way, then they're gonna feed off of that, or they're gonna say whatever makes you happy. Man, that's just nonsense. You understand? America has taught women and men that households can be ran without the opposite sex. A real household is when a man and a woman are together and have kids and stay together, fight through the problems, fight through the trials and tribulations, and stay together. It's weak to just abandon your partner. That's cowardice. Right. You don't have the strength to fight for your relationship. You claim to love this person. You claim to really want to be with this person. But then when things get tough, you cast them aside. Right. You don't. If you love something, you don't cast it aside. Yeah, right. You fight for it, even if it's hard. That's why there's counsel, there's therapy, there's things to do to fix your relationship. If there's no reason ever, especially when kids are involved and y'all lay down together as a man and woman and being an adult, there's no reason to separate that bond. That bond is an everlasting bond. If you gave yourself up to her and vice versa for the man and the woman, you need to stay together and just fix your things, fix your problems. Right. There are men on this earth that have the greatest counsel and instruction and guidance to help you persevere over these issues. And those people, those men, are under commanded in 100 UPK. Right. You feel my point? You can go to you go to therapy in the world, they just tell you, well, how does that make you feel? So that feel word is there again. What emotion do you have? What emotion is there for you? Like they turn it into like a Christian church event. Right. How did your heart skip a beat? Like, come on, get on my face. Right. You feel my point? Therapy in the world is just a way, it's just venting. Yeah. It's just a way for you to vent. They don't give you solutions of problems. Because I know for a fact, my mom and my stepfather back in the day, they went to therapy and counseling or whatever the case may be. And their therapist never gave them instruction. They just said, well, how do you feel? What do you think you should do? Instead of giving actually solutions to the problems, they tried to say, well, your emotions will guide your way. What am I in a cartoon? Am I in a rom-com video game? No, I'm not. You cannot go through life using your emotions or your instincts to guide you, because I can be mad at somebody and happy at the same person in a blink of an eye. This person could have just pissed me all the way off, then offered me some food 20 minutes later, and I guess what? He's my best friend again. You feel my point? And that's just, America's counseling system is not the way to go. You got to find people that actually give you the wisdom and the understanding. But you want to say something? Or Ramon?
Yeah, I was just coming off what you were talking about. Was and that's what we really like. Women need, like, just coming off the picture we just showed. So a lot of women that don't want to have babies at all because of what you just said. They have feelings and want to go, do things for themselves. They don't care about, the on this earth tag.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, be fruitful and multiply. So what they want to do is, I hear this all the time from women that say, well, I want to go on vacation. I want to live my life. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to live my best life. I don't want no babies. If I have a baby, I'm going to get I'm going to unalive it because I want to do for myself. 35, 36, 37 years old at the end of the day, really at the end of their maturity of being able to have babies.
It went out.
And, they're telling,
Went off.
they're telling,
It's where we're at.
oh, there you go. They them lie, they own lie, and then you have a woman like this who says she wished, for unaliving.
Right.
And why you think she really wished for unaliving? Because she only cared about her only disgust. She's disgusting. It's about herself. She's selfish. Now she's teaching her child to be disgusted and selfish, just like she is.
Right.
Like,
And on your same point, so I gotta say one thing. Hey, for everyone on the live, we are taking a trip cross country, so we are gonna hit some dead zones when it comes to the connectivity with the phone or whatever the case may be. So if we go dead for a second, it's not on us. It's just we might hit a dead zone with no connectivity with the satellites or whatever the case. So please be patient with us. This is a road trip podcast or whatnot. So please be patient with us. But go ahead.
if I could, like, with all this technology, all this schooling, all the common sense in the world, Captain Zaryak, he came up with it. And that's all you got to do is pay attention to ovulation. They have all these ovulation kits that you can go literally buy for $1 in the store. Before you decide you want to have sex with this man, go take the ovulation test. It takes literally probably maybe less than 2 minutes, but you find out whether or not you ovulate.
Man.
Because you can only have a baby when you ovulate.
Hey, they got a whole app that tells you this. If a woman really cares about her body and her health, they can track their cycles and track their ovulation.
And you don't have to even worry about going to, the clinic and risking your life to try to get this, to try to get whatever you're trying to get. Because what's going to happen is you're going to come to a point in your life after you had these abortions that you really do want to have a child by someone, and you're not going to be able to do it because of the abortions and the damage that's been done by whatever doctor that you decided to go into you to take that child out. Mess you up.
And not only that, like that, once a woman gets pregnant, that's no longer her body. She's sharing her body or that space with the baby itself. So you are no longer just an individual. Like I watched a video the other day. This is said that a baby's a parasite up in her womb.
Dang.
A parasite. That's insane to me. Like this, like the scriptures say that a child is a blessing unto you. Lord, and a child is a gift to the human race, and childs are what keeps us alive for the future. Saying that children, that murder is okay. We want to follow the American Constitution, and we don't want to drink and drive, or we don't want to what? Give me some other laws of America. The crazy thing is, I'm thinking about the laws of the Lord, which don't apply to America. It's so hard to think about the laws of the land. The laws of the land are so much simpler to follow than the laws of the Lord. But at the end of the day, gender equality, America, I can't.
You gotta say that whatever somebody feel like they got, we gotta actually present them as that. That's American law. That's why a lot of high schools have gender neutral bathrooms, because now the respect of what you were born to be is no longer a respect no more. Now, it's decided now.
That's the same.
That's worldly. That the Bible don't say that. So
You're right. And at the same time, America says you get to decide, but when you get locked up, you don't get to decide no more.
Right.
You don't get to decide. You get to decide your gender or whatever the case may be when you're outside of the prison system. But let you do something against American law or the Constitution, you can get a DUI, or you unalive somebody, or you assault a police officer, whatever the case may be. You are going to the prison for men or for women based on the gender you were born as. Mm-hmm. They don't care what you believe you are. There's no non-binary prisons. You feel me? There's no transgender prisons. Like what could, like they say, America is such a place full of bullcrap, and they just spew nonsense all the time, and they make you think that they accept you, but at the end of the day, your acceptance of being transgender tell that's the prison system.
Yeah.
Because if they truly accepted transgenderism and understood that that was a non-binary concept, you can be what you want to be, that means they would create prison systems just for the people that say that they're this. If you don't decide on a specific gender, then they should create an alienized prison system. If they truly believed in what they preach, but they don't. That's no point. But we're going crazy off the one topic and haven't even really hit the same topic.
I was just gonna say, I say one thing that, like, don't put it past, because the prison system usually follow the school system. So after a while, yeah, you might see where it's gonna be gender neutral, and they're gonna actually allow men to be women in women jails, and it's just America is just so disgusting. Who knows what they'll do next?
Yeah,
So
they're gonna have to create more wickedness.
yeah, it's kind of a kind.
Like we are in a wicked society right now. This is completely disgusting, but they're gonna always take it a step further. They'll always take it a step further. The so-called white man is a disgusting bastard. There's a whole aspect on where they, like, some places justify being a minor lover. You know what I'm saying? To love minors, and there's a safe community. I think it was in Carolina. I don't want to say it was in Carolina, but I believe it's in Carolina, where they actually have a community that all the SAers of minors can dwell at that are officially, like, in the system.
Wow.
They created they created a safe space for the minor SAers, and that's crazy that you create a safe space for them, because America really is not against it, right? They're not really against it, but they gotta say they're against it, because if that was the case, 90% of their race would be in prison.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You see my point? All these uncles and all these neighbors would be in prison, and their economy wouldn't last if they just imprisoned everybody for the same crime.
Right.
Or all these Catholic priests.
Or these my point. Those churches would be done for. All the churches would be done for.
Yeah, kind of a kind.
That's crazy talk. Anyone else before we move onward? So we do have two more stories we're gonna go over. So we'll go over the mom and her daughter.
Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah, if you could, whenever you're ready to let me know before you actually click.
Okay, come on.
But like I said, if y'all could on the live, make sure to like, follow, share. If you want to make a donation, the super chat, whatever the case would be. Just another aspect that we want to promote, the Round Table of Truth under Cap Mall Quad, under Commander Jenny and the Lord of Christ. You know, so we're always gonna be doing this on a Lord allowed daily basis. Whenever we hit the road for more than 25 minutes, we plan to go live and talk about some issues, and just have a discussion and just talk about the things that are going on within our communities. So, like I said, please like, follow, share, promote. It starts with you, and we're gonna keep doing this for until Christ comes back. From my point, so you got that video?
Come on.
Go ahead. Let's hit it.
Mother getting arrested for turning off her 14-year-old daughter's phone because the daughter started tripping. Let's get into it, YouTube.
Mama, please! Don't say please! I'm your daddy, you ain't going. No, yes, I am! Shut the up! Please! 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 Please!
Okay, Chief.
So yeah, YouTube, the daughter was cutting up so bad, somebody decided to call the police on the mother, YouTube. And the officer actually arrested the mother, telling her that with the new state laws and mandates, man, that's considered mental abuse, YouTube. This shit is crazy. You can't physically touch your child. They don't want you to raise your voice to verbally reprimand them, and now they don't even want you to take things away. But when your child act a fool and they get a hold of them, they want to lock them up, YouTube. Now let me know what that looks like, man. This just another wild situation. Hopefully the mom beat that case, man, and the DA dropped the charges, man.
Now, who wants to start off?
Okay. If I could, like, this happened in Atlanta, and if anybody know the YSL trial has been going on in Atlanta, and if you followed the YSL trial over the past year, you will see like how much and how corrupt the Fulton, police department is. So when I seen this video, that was one of the things I noticed was the APD. Wow. And it shows you that this police officer arrested this mother talking about that the laws have been changed, whereas that you can't take, because your child is acting up and they're doing something that you feel like they shouldn't be doing. Instead of beating your child, you're taking stuff away. Instead of abusing your child, by, physically, whooping them, you just take things away. You find another way to discipline them. And they're trying to take that even away from our people. They say that this mother is mentally abusing her child. How in the world is that mental abuse?
Man, let me take my PlayStation 5 away from my child. Imagine, you at your own house, they act up, they decide to, let's say, throw a glass at my head, and I take away their PlayStation 5. Now I'm mentally abusing my child for giving them a punishment. Like, America wants to control every aspect of your life. What we don't understand is being black, Hispanic, and it is that we are slaves. We're captives that don't get to dictate what goes on in our own life. To my point, the fact that she's getting arrested for taking away her child's phone, 14 years old, child, taking her phone away, and that is mental abuse and gets arrested and actually gets charged. That's crazy. You understand? Back in the day, we used to get switches. Man. We used to get punished. We talking about just taking away basically a phone. Right. Some people, man, go ahead.
So I get, it's just crazy that we even, first off, talking about this, when, America, I call this mental abuse, but you don't think mental abuse is when you're taking the father out of the house. Like, taking the father out of a household is mental abuse to the child.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we sit here talking about her disciplining her child in a way that won't send her to jail, and she ended up going to jail for it. Like, it just lets you know how disgusting America is. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Egypt. It shows you right now that America is not meant for a black or Hispanic person.
Right. And it's crazy talk. So this is child abuse, it's mental child abuse, for you to discipline your child by taking some of the belongings away until they act right. But it's not child abuse for you to start dressing up your 3-year-old boy in a dress. It's not mental abuse when you tell your child they get to choose their gender when they 2 years old. Right. And my point, this child doesn't know how to talk yet, but they get to choose their gender. Like, where does the child abuse start? When does it end? You get my point? Like, America dictates what you are allowed to do with your own child. So my point, the first story is you get to unalive your child because you don't want it, or because you want to further your degree, or you just didn't like the man that you just like run up beside you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't make this make sense. I shouldn't have to even talk about this. But the fact that we're talking about mental abuse, but when we confusing children saying that they are born with a rod, but they're still a girl, right? Or they're born with a box, but they get to choose whether or not that the box represents what they really are. The word gender has something to do with genitalia. You feel me? Your genitalia, keyword gen, has something to do with what you are and what sex you are. Right? But now they just change the narrative. You got to think about what in the 1970s it was. If you believed when you were a homosexual and you followed the rainbow community in 1970, that was mental illness. but then let time go about, and a lot more people start deciding that they want to just come out the closet. Because remember, that was the whole thing back in the day. Coming out the closet. I've never heard of a closet in the last 10 years,
Right.
almost, because it's become so accepted. They changed it from a mental illness to an alternative lifestyle. And now, since alternative lifestyle, the people that believe that it's wrong are the ones with the mental illness.
Correct.
Because America changes what they believe in or what they promote, depending on if it's going to get into office for the elections, or what's going to make them the most money, and who's going to become a Republican or a Democrat. But to my point, it all depends on the societal. Well, I lost the wrong word. Like it's
Basically, the way society needs it to be.
Get my point. Yeah, there's a whole word I wanted to say, and it just ran away from me real quick.
You trying to use one of them smart.
I was trying to use the smart, educated American word. I'm just not a Christian pastor.
He tried to become T.I. for a second.
I try to do what the Christian pastors doing these big words and confuse people.
It's like the society equivalency, yo.
If I could, these kids don't understand what mental abuse is. Like, try being on punishment for the whole summer, not being able to go outside, sit in your room with no TV. That's mental abuse, because you can't deal with nobody but yourself. You know. That's mental abuse.
Sure, that's how we grew up, though.
Watching all your friends outside,
Right.
and then you can't get outside.
It's like that meme with Alpha. Oh, yeah. Looking at the window like, damn, I could be up, motherfucker.
No, I said watch my friends play basketball. Shit, we in the window watching them, and they hooping. We in the room on punishment, looking bad. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, but just to go back to what you were saying, they're telling you to unalive your child.
Right.
Right. But now you got this video saying you can't even take care, you can't even discipline your child, raise your child correctly. So we're gonna force you either unalive your child or not be able to raise the child correctly.
Hey,
It's just, we just losing all the way around the board. They're just trying to make sure that our children are made into slaves. That's what it is. They are growing up. They going back, like they're really trying to make America great again, going back to slavery.
yeah,
That's what they're trying to do. They're forcing children, and they're forcing so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians to raise their children, whereas that they have no other choice but to go back on the plantation, because of the in the Constitution, the only way you can have slavery if you be convicted of a felony. Now it's okay to implement slavery again, and that's what's going on.
that's big fact.
If I may, also, what you said so heavy. It's like either you don't have the baby, or if you have the baby, we control the way you raise your child. So, like, that's why you got schools that have these mental health day. Kids can literally say, I don't want to go to school today. I want to take a mental health day.
Crazy.
I don't even know. My daughter told me
a mental health day.
it's a mental health day that children can take.
Oh,
They got
I
to
need that shit for work.
Right, where they get that from? Where they get that from?
Y'all let us know in the comments if y'all came and they told y'all about this mental. I think they get a few of them.
Yeah, mental health day.
It's like 6 days. It's like a 6 day.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
I
wow.
want to go in.
Yeah, we never got that. That lets you know now America gets to control your kid and say if they don't want to go to school, all they gotta say is, "Hey, I'm having a mental health."
They got six sick days a year, huh?
But we want to before we started, where they started to change. If you wanted to homeschool and believe in the American school system, you had the choice not to let your kid go to school, and you could teach them from home. And then at the end of the year, whatever the case may be, at the time when they're like 18 or 17, they could just go take a test for the GED.
Right. Oh, okay. Right.
But now it's illegal in majority have homeschooling. You have to say like there's some school places that it's illegal to homeschool your kids. So if you have a child that's between the ages like first grade to senior, it's illegal to not have your child in the public school system. And you have to, and you got to know the public school system, they public, they still got to pay. Then they got to pay for lunch and all this. It's really so they can control. For one, they want your money. That's obviously the case. Yeah. Two, then they want to make sure that you don't get to choose the doctrine your child learns. Right. That's right. The doctrine is insane. Like, for example, in history class, when I grew up in an all-white community when I was a child, the history class was all about so-called white history. Christopher Columbus and what they did to so-called Africans, which is us, put us in slavery. But they give us the history that was successful and great for America. Right. They don't give you the history of before slavery. They don't give you the history of how the Native Indians used to live prior to Christopher Columbus, prior to the murder of Thanksgiving. They don't give you none of that history, and that's why if they allow you to miss their American schooling systems, then they can't indoctrinate you in believing them to celebrate Thanksgiving, celebrate Christmas, celebrate New Year's. Because they celebrate all these holidays inside the school. Oh God! Because they talking about Valentine's Day, over sexualizing our kids for Valentine's Day. My kids in elementary school, go ahead and give everyone hearts and kisses for Valentine's Day. My kids 8. Feel my point? But they want to indoctrinate your kids because once they in the school system, then you don't have a choice. Remember back in the day, when I was a child, we didn't have sex education classes. Where they teach you what. Remember, they have in transgender men come into the schools and teach about the reproductive systems. You feel my point? We didn't have. We had science or what's it called? We had some
classes that said that if you have sex with a woman,
my point.
you impregnate her.
Right.
Those
Reproductive classes. Some it wasn't called reproductive, but reproductive it was a long time since I was in middle school. But at the end of the day, that's the whole point. But then they start changing it, and they dictate on what your children get to learn. So now, if you don't believe in the American school system, now you got to fight against your children every day. Right. You go into war spiritually as a slave when you're being a slave under this white man's organizations or his companies. Then you got to go to war with your woman because he's teaching her how she can dress, how she should live, and being independent. And then she don't need you no more. So then you go to war spiritually with your children. Because now America teaches your children that they can do this, they can do that, they should believe in this or they should believe in that. So now, as a black man, you go into war 24/7. And at the end of the day, there's only so much warfare an individual can go through continuously before they just say, okay, right. Before they say, screw it, I don't care anymore. And then they just let you. Now there's Christmas trees in our houses. Now there's Thanksgiving turkey on our dinner table. To my point, now our son is wearing a dress. Now our daughter wants to go get a rod and go get in a relationship with another female. And then now we have other kids. Brittany Griner talking about I'm pops. Right. I'm pops. Yeah, your mom. No, I'm pops. When damn well you didn't lay the seed. You ain't got the seed from whoever you got the seed from. But you pops. That's insane. That's right. That's what we get for for accepting the American way. It was forced on us, but we stopped fighting it, and we just accepted it. Like Cameron Aqua brought out the Round Table of Truth last night about the scriptures talking about that we're just a nation that just lays down and let them run over us. Yeah. Because we got tired of the fights. Mm-hmm. We're that same man that got tired of getting fought against, fighting our women, fighting the slaveries, fighting the white man, fighting the school systems and our kids. We just said, screw it. Mm-hmm. We just decided to lay down. And then we have the scriptures talk about, are we a homeborn slaves? Mm-hmm. After 400 years of oppression and realizing that our fight hasn't made a difference, in the physical term, it makes a difference. The UPK makes a difference. Yeah, definitely. But by being Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, we are a visual people. We got to see a difference. Yeah, right. We can't just feel a difference or whatever. We got to see a big flip, like an hourglass flip. But because we haven't seen the hourglass flip, we believe nothing's actually truly changing.
Yeah,
So we
right.
decide if you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
That's the whole change. If I can't beat my enemy, just join
Just
them.
join the enemy.
If
Yeah.
we could put this topic that's going on, and it was a sister. She said the black supremacy is not the way to beat white supremacy. So when it got to me, I posed a question to the panel. I asked everybody. I said, "What does black supremacy look like?" So I told the host. Yeah, I told the host that okay, I want everybody to speak. That way, before I, before I speak again. So he went around, and then finally somebody decided to be smart and pull up the definition of what actually, supremacy, black supremacy, or supremacy was. Then you had another guy, me and him always go back and forth. He said, look at box 10, which was the box that I was in. He said, when you look at him, that's black supremacy.
Right.
He
Yeah.
say that's what when you see black supremacy, that would be black supremacy. But he was trying to say it as a derogatory term because he don't believe it. So the host, when it got to him, he actually pulled up on Google our organization and read it about and said he said when you want to see black supremacy, just look at it. He specifically said ISUPK. He said look at his organization. So when they got back to me and they did that, I said, I thank you all for pointing out my organization in particular. I say, because you are totally right. I say, under Commander Junior Hanna, if you look since 1969, you don't see us commit not one crime. I say, what we do is we take people off the street that have been committing different crimes and teach them not to commit crime. Teach them to build families back up. Teach them to actually go out and love and raise the communities, put communities back together and love people that won't even love them back. I say, so I appreciate you all highlighting that when you look at us, we are a model of black supremacy. I appreciate it. I say thank you. So they didn't know what to say then. So and that's the thing. That's the thing. Hey, that's the whole thing. So I'm like, man, like we have to. Black supremacy is the way to combat white supremacy. Black supremacy don't mean going around, unaliving, white people. It don't mean going around just, literally mistreating them because, just to be doing that. That's not what black supremacy is. Black supremacy is loving your race, teaching them, like the scriptures say, be of the world, live in the world, but not be of the world. So that's what we do. We live in this world, but we're not of this world. We have took our spirit out of this world and made sure that we follow what our King Yahushua, the blueprint that he left us to navigate through this captivity, because he was in captivity when he was walking this earth in Rome, and he literally showed the blueprint on how to navigate, through the system in captivity. Right. And we're model citizens. Citizen of doing that. And like I told them on the app, I say, I don't care who it is. I don't care what organization you get. You will never be able to outdo ISUPK when it comes to brotherhood and sisterhood. Yeah, I don't care who it is.
I am right.
So, yeah.
That's so heavy. Because it's okay to sport, the American flag or some even the Confederate flag, and it's okay to have, supremacy when it's of a white nature or of the oppressor's nature. That's okay. But to love your people is especially for black and brown people, black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, it's such an egregious thing for America to them because they feel like they work so hard to put us in the position that we're in, spiritually broken and destroyed. Just here for you. That's why you ever see them a lot of times. They always say, slavery was so long ago because they want you to spiritually really believe that you no longer have slavery, but then you go into situations like Breonna Taylor, and you know what I'm saying, these Fernando Castillo and all these people who's been destroyed by oppressor or by the slave drivers again, the slave masters again, and now it takes that one small spark to say, oh, we still, now people think, we still being destroyed in America. Well, you destroy it when it don't happen. You just don't understand. I should be until the day together as Black and Hispanic and Native American Indians, we always gonna be in slavery. We're never gonna be out of slavery until we.
And the spiritual warfare is about the belief systems that we believe in, the ones that we follow, like Christianity, all these other in Satanism. All that nonsense that we're talking about is the whole point of the matter is that we're at a warfare. Because if we were at war, then why would we say we're fighting for peace? We're fighting for like fighting for peace. American society is put. I don't want to see people that voting for a president just to make our lives easier or our lives better. We're voting for Trump. We're voting for all these to make Black lives more relevant. Because at the end of the day, we in a rural area, I can't even see a cell phone tower at all. So we might have a little bit of bad connectivity. That's just kind of the way it goes when we talking about this dashboard discussion. But we're gonna get it out the mud regardless. You feel my point? So did you want to go? Anyone have anything else they want to talk about when it comes down to this mom and dad? The unaliving and the Indians, which are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Again, instead according to the Bible, which is what the UPK makes sure to follow and teach and guide the people of concerning those matters. So what we're gonna do is play this video real quick, pertaining to us Israelites, us blacks as Indians. We will make excuses to celebrate Thanksgiving Day for whatever the case may be. You understand? Before we call it Thanksgiving Day, and we go celebrate, we go do this, but then we have our so-called woke brothers and sisters out there that want to say, "Oh, we're not doing this for Thanksgiving, but we're gonna do it on Thanksgiving and call it Friendsgiving." Yes, because that made so much of a damn difference. You could have changed, you could have changed the word. Regardless if it's Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, I'm thankful for my friends. So congratulations, you just still a Christian and you still celebrating the day of murder, regardless of what you call it, making excuses and whatever the case may be. Now this video is just completely atrocious. Brother talking about Yahweh Shai Day.
Yeah, kind of.
He's Yahweh Shai Day. If anyone doesn't know, Yahweh Shai is the Hebrew name for Christ or Jesus, what you call him today in America, a black man, according to the Bible. But they calling it Yahweh Shai Day on the day of Thanksgiving, right? Which is crazy.
If I could, sorry, before we start the video, you gotta look at it. This they done made this just like Easter. Damn, Easter Bunny ain't got nothing to do with Christ, raising from the grave.
Yahweh Shai ain't got nothing to do with Thanksgiving. How in the world this become Yahweh Shai Day? What does Christ have to do with so-called Thanksgiving or what they want to call Friends Day? What does it have to do? It has nothing to do with it. You're just making things up. You're just disgusting. That's all. You just find any way, but it says that because since it's against an evil work, it's not executed speedily. It's in the hearts, for us to do evil, and that's so true. So when you're looking at this, we want to do evil. It's just crazy how evil we the things that we think of to do to disrespect the Most High and want to sit up here and talk about, well, He knows my heart. We want to have forgiveness. You want to sit up here and say, well, Jesus knows my heart. Come on, man. Yeah, He know how wicked your heart is because your actions are showing. That's how wicked you are. That's what your heart is about. We gone, man. Look, they did. Let's get this video because this crazy. Show how wicked we can be.
Nah, you definitely right. Before we continue, I want to give a big thanks out to young man Davon, and thank you for tuning in and commenting. Dawa Ephraim Yasher Allah. Yeah, I already know our connection a little bad. When we on the interstate, it's an up and down type of aspect. But we appreciate the love and the support that you showing Imad Sarah Yezreel. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate the comment and all the love. And the saying, like I said, please like, share, support. Hit the super chat or whatever the case may be. All this is for y'all. This ain't for us. It's for y'all. We want to make sure that teach and give the guidance that we for our people. You know, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Indians. We want to make sure that we support and guide y'all in the right direction under Commander General and ISPK. So, nope, I need this backbone. But yeah, you're right, Award. I like all the celebrate these Americanized holidays. For some reason, we just I ain't even say for some reason. I know exactly the reason. Right. But we just cannot let them go. It's like Thanksgiving is on Thursday, so just avoid turkey. That's it. Just avoid the turkey on the Thursday. For one day out the year, you can't. The one day you should. I'm slacking. No, hell day you're supposed to. The one day you should say, you know what? I'm gonna at least have the morality to not eat a damn turkey because it's a disgusting reason why we eat it. The one day, 365 days out of a year, one day exists that we say don't eat the turkey. You want to eat the turkey. Make sure. Like I just don't get it. Like you all say you got Native Indian in your family, and that's the reason why your hair so straight till you put water on it, and all these other reasons. So why can't you just take one day and just understand that your grandmother and your grandfather, who you claiming to be Native Indian, their grandfathers were destroyed by Andrew Jackson. They family had to walk from Florida all the way to California in the Trail of Tears. Like, come on, man. How disgusting can you really be? You know what I'm saying? Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, your Howard Shot Day, you call it whatever you want to. The Lord it destroy every single place that had those days. The Lord was destroyed. All you gotta do is look on the news. Look on the news and see how many people. You got a smartphone. Look at your smartphone and see how many people. You know what I'm saying? It was destroyed on that day. You know what I'm saying? Look how many people died or got unalived on that day. Just look at it, and it'll let you know how much the Lord do not agree with that day. He said he don't spell in the solemn assemblies, of course. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the Lord is not with Thanksgiving. Friendsgiving, he's not with. So that's not even, it's not a good excuse because he's not with that day. And he's not with, especially this day that we finna show y'all that it's totally, this might be the most disgusting day out of all three of them, even though they all disgusting. This one that we gonna show you might even be it might be the worst. Before we hit this clip and show you how wicked Israel tries to be, or how they try to escape the wrongdoings of what we celebrating. They think just putting the word Christ behind it makes it okay. Right. Crazy word. Today, we talking about like the so-called the oppressor and the Caucasians or whatever, they have the right to celebrate Thanksgiving. Because that is a day that they conquered us as Native Indians, Hispanics, and so-called Negroes. It's one of their days where they were able to win the battle. And they dominated and, got America, whatever the case may be. They have the right to celebrate that. It's their day. Congratulations to their race. They did something evil as hell, but they won. So they're allowed to celebrate that. The same way at July 4th, they're able to celebrate July 4th because that's when they got their independence from Great Britain. Okay. You feel my point? Like, they have the right to celebrate their victories. But the fact of the matter is having Hispanics going around and dancing at the Macy's parade. Ooh, that's horrible. On Thanksgiving Day as Native Indians, the ones that were conquered on that day, is crazy. Like, you have no self-respect celebrating the day that you were conquered. Celebrating the day you were conquered, and you want to dance on TV in your tribal uniforms in front of the world on a day that represents your destruction. Wow.
So like you say, that's what Soto. That's the
Pseudo.
Yeah. What's his name? The one that helped take down. That was an interpreter.
Kanye said his name like 5 times.
Soto, whatever. Something like that. I know it started with an S.
Yeah, it was Soto something. I remember. If you know in the chat, put it in the chat.
Yeah, I completely. It just vacated me right when you said it.
It's lucky. If I just real quick before, like, it's so heavy that the ISUPK tells you to acknowledge and celebrate the days where you were the ones that conquered your oppressor, and you rather serve or celebrate the days of when your oppressor conquered you. Right. It's an insane, mentality to have. ISUPK says celebrate the Feast of Dedication, celebrate the Feast of Purim, all of these days that talks about when we were a great nation, and you look at us and you say those guys crazy again. They crazy. What? They gonna go a whole day without eating and drinking water? Right. These guys are crazy. What's wrong with them? It was to commemorate when, you know, the Lord gave us the strength to be able to overcome our oppressor. But you rather celebrate when you was in shackles. You rather celebrate when, you know, our Native American brothers and sisters were being destroyed, or slave ships bringing us back over, bringing us into America. Those are the days you rather celebrate instead of the days that the crazy ass UPK tell you to celebrate. The Lord made you the strongest ever in the whole world. I mean, Slovakia. That's just insane.
Think about the Jewish and the Germans.
Oh yeah.
The Jewish and the Germans and what happened in Nazi Germany with the Holocaust. They still haven't forgave them for the crimes that were committed among the people. So the Jewish don't even use German cars. You feel my point? Like, they understand the crime that was done to them, and they reject all the beliefs and the infrastructure of the ones that did the crime to them. But we over here, we want to hold hands and forgive and love and sing Kumbaya like we're Timon and Pumbaa. You see my point? Like, why can't we have some integrity about ourselves?
That was a movie that destroyed us too.
I'm a Lion King. I know. They talk about we kings, but we're the ones that can accept the. They're crazy.
A lion, a puma, and whatever that other thing was.
That means that's saying no. What's really that show is spiritually saying that the prey can get along with the predator.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
The prey and the predator can be along and sing Kumbaya and love each other, because the so-called white man, he's the predator.
Yeah,
my point, he's the one that the scriptures say they hunt our steps. They hunt our steps because they're predators. They're beasts, according to the Bible. They don't have a peaceful bone in their body. 177 peace treaties were given with the Pilgrims and the so-called Native Indians, and every last peace treaty was broken because the white man is not a peaceable people like the Native Indians were. And they want to try to say that we were the savages. We were the ones that had no morals or anything like that. Just because the so-called Native Indians might have been at war with either other tribes or whatever the case would be, cool, that's a Native Indian and a Native Indian problem. That's not a racial issue. Right? You feel my point? Same way with black on black crime. If there's black on black crime, that means black people and other black people got to work that shit out together. We don't need the interjection of the beast himself, which is the white man, trying to solve our issues.
Right.
Like, the Black Lives Matter movement was some bull crap at the end of the day because it was led by by an oppressor. It was led by the same ones that conquered us and gave us all these paganized holidays, that gave us the abortion clinics, that gave us all these ways that we can self-sabotage ourselves. They gave us syphilis and herpes and gonorrhea and guns and crack cocaine with the war of drugs and not Biden, but Reagan, thank you. Reagan, they did all these types of acts of war on us, and they want to interject on black crime issues. They want to interject on Native Indian issues when the Pilgrims are around, saying, "Oh well, since y'all going to war with each other, we can't say you're peaceable." When we taught them how to survive in the winters, we taught them how to live and hunt. Well, not hunt. Definitely not hunt. We taught them how to survive the winters. Yeah, we didn't teach them how to hunt at all. But you feel my point. But you see my point? Like, we were the peaceful people. We accepted them being the pale-skinned and devils that they are and tried to be peaceable. And all 177 of those peace trees were eradicated by them. And look where we at. We shoved on the reservations, working in steel mills. Beautiful thing. Last night, I'll give Officer 1000 a Munga bar a hand. You understand? They going out there under the Bar Mosque tutelage in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. You understand? About to go give donations of food, clothes, books, and all the good stuff to the reservations. But when we were out there last, I'll say 2 years ago, when I was talking to one of the Hispanic brothers out there, Native Indian brothers out there, he said his family for 4 generations all worked in the same steel mill. Wow. 4 generations. That's insane. And they ain't getting paid at all. But at the same time, they want to say that's the Native Indians' land. It's their land.
That's crazy.
But they're all working. Again, steel work in a mill is not easy labor, man. Let alone 4 generations. What does that tell you? That's the only way they can make money in their own, the so-called own reservation. Because it's not their reservation. It's a reservation that they call their own, but they still have to make money for the oppressor that put them there. on their own land.
Yep.
And then the so-called white man has the audacity to send that letter that we damn thing. Like how evil can the so-called white man be?
Right.
See, we still please anyone wants to tune in before I start punching out windows.
Video. I got the video.
Yeah, let's hit this video before I start yelling at the camera.
Come.
Do put the camera here. Am I in there? What I want you to do is I want to make sure that you get the hams. They like when we do that. Come in there. Did you get the juices? Ooh, look at that. I'm looking for 4,000 insults. All right. Y'all see that ham? Bring it in again.
Ham.
Bring it in. Real slow. There you go. Y'all see that ham? Ooh, ain't that? No, wait a minute. Do y'all see that swine? Hey, check it out. Check out the turkey. All right. Hey, and bring it up here. Oh, that's pork roast? Oh shit. We got swine roast too. Hey y'all, all of y'all that went for the bullshit, all right, about the butterball turkeys. Y'all believe anything, huh? Ain't nobody nutting in these damn turkeys, man. All right? Yeah, they said.
Now you had to turn a game.
That is just.
My point. Somehow not in the turkey, but you still eating the turkey. So now you're eating. Yeah. Point. He wants 4,000 haters. So we 4 haters in the car right now. So
Yeah, you got 4 of them already.
Definitely are.
Here's what's so disgusting about it though. We get all the we get the haters. We the one that get the haters. This dude right here could make that video and be okay with it. The sad part about it is how many people. If you watch that, we gonna put it in the comments, of course, later on. But if you watch how many people was in that house, you would really think that he might be the only person that believes that. But everybody in that house believes it. It was maybe 30 to 40 people in that house. That is just totally and utterly disgusting. And you say we crazy? We crazy to tell you not to eat no big old ham or whatever. Don't even eat the turkey. I don't think. Like, come on.
But I'd say the biggest part about this whole discussion thing is that trying to justify Thanksgiving and then going and trying to call it Yahweh Day while eating the food at Yahweh which Christ told you, you respecting the name of our King more greater than ever. Like you might as well just only celebrate the Thanksgiving at this point. Don't integrate the greatest man to walk this earth up in the murderous spirit of Thanksgiving, and then eat the same foods that Christ died for you. So my point is that Christ died so you could live after eating all this nasty nonsense. So you would never do it again. You feel my point? Like, come on, man.
It's like I said.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that would have made more sense, and I could have. Breakdown. That's crazy.
creature.
Yeah.
He's just evil as hell, and he knows it, and that's why he said I want 4,000 haters, because he knows exactly what they were doing on the day, celebrating the unaliving of 77 million Native Indians, and then on top of the matter, saying that Christ promotes that thing is even worse. Swine, make him swine.
Yeah, you definitely right. Yeah, so he can go ahead. I mean, it just be so. It's like you literally
When I put it back there, when I put
doing.
it back there, I lose sick.
Know that you are actually
Bitch
sinning.
gotta speak up.
You know you're sinning on purpose and you're promoting it. That's the whole thing. You know you sinning. The fact that your head is zoned up on the ham, you zone that camera that close up to it until it said I want 4,000 hating comments. No, you know that you normally know what you're doing. But the Lord, you know, you want to test the Lord, you want to provoke the Lord, don't worry about it. You know, he gonna deal with you. It's just the stuff that they do is just it's crazy how these so-called woke people, so-called fake Israelites, so-called self-taught righteous, want to be righteous, not knowing what they're doing. Israelites just out here, just continue to scatter the flock of the people.
Damn right.
America has a lot of bad stories that has cheapened the debt, has cut the debt that we are actually owed. That we actually owe, the Most High. They have cut it in half. They have did a great job in bringing out the illusion that this debt has been cut in half and that they can continue to do what they want to do. It's just crazy.
My point. So there are certain laws, sexual commandments that all blacks, Hispanics, and Indians need to follow, and those are the ones in the Bible. And the only way you're going to get this information truly and wholeheartedly, with no lies, no blemishes, or anything like that, is in the UBK under Command Jedi.
Right.
You understand? This is the only organization information straight from the Most High in Christ. You understand? Stop listening to these goofies. What we need to do is stop trying to integrate with America. It's been 400 plus years. We're still suffering and dying. We can't promote our own things because the so-called white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. We need to get our shit together, Israel. And that comes with trying to love each other like we love ourselves. And that key word is love. Love isn't an emotion. Love is an action. And that action means that you put the Lord first and your personal feelings second.
Right.
You feel my point? Your personal feelings are irrelevant to the Lord, but what the Lord wants you to live. That's why he gave us the laws. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 15 or 14 tell you what you need to do to live the best life possible. And I don't mean the best financial life. I mean the best life morally. You understand? Healthy, or whatever the case. You need to follow those laws. And then when you go to Deuteronomy 15 and all the way to 68, it's going to tell you the things that's going to happen bad that you are not going to want to happen to your personal life. You understand? So life isn't a joke. It's not a game. It's not YOLO. You only live once. Life is not something to play with. You understand? Because you should know that when your loved one gets unalived due to getting shot down by the police, it wasn't a joke then, was it? When your loved one unalived himself because life was too hard for them, it wasn't a joke then, was it? It wasn't all fun and games and we living our best lives. Was it then? No, it wasn't a joke then. So it's never a joke at all. Take life seriously. It's not a game. We only get one remembrance of the life we live in. Yeah, right. You feel my point? So we're gonna, even if you get unalived or you pass away, you will live another life. But the life that you live in the next life is all dependent on the life you live now. Yeah, right. And if you want to live the best life possible in your next life, you got to live your best life now. And your best life is when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Damn right. It's not when you go play fun and games and wear what you want to do and make all this nonsense and just living your wickedness in the world. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Bull crap. You understand? This life is serious. It's not a game. You understand? The Lord should show you in the Bible that life has never been a game. You feel my point? The Lord has put us as Black, Hispanics, and Indians into the worst circumstances ever. And because we thought life was a game, right? Because we wanted to live our best life and ignore what He laid in front of us and the rules that He gave us, if we wanted to disobey those, He shows you what's going to happen. He showed you it. The Bible, the 1611 King James Version of the Bible, with the Apocrypha, is the forum and the history to show you what's going to happen if you do follow God and what's going to happen if you don't follow God.
That's right.
And I guarantee you, you're going to regret not following the laws of the Lord.
Damn right.
Right. You understand? So don't stop playing with the Lord.
Right.
The Lord might not be quick to punishing you, but He is quick to remember.
Right.
Right.
I feel like you say, you know, when you apply your own lust, you know, the Lord say He gonna set strange delusions upon you. That's one of the things. So, you know, when you're looking at that video, you know, he is really delusional about what he's doing. That delusion, the Lord has went on and allowed his lustfulness to just overwhelm him. And, you know, it is sad to see that, you know, the lustfulness and, you know, the boldness and the arrogance he got to do it to even up. So, and then want to try to call himself Israel, a so-called Israelite, as if though he's actually, you know, studying and following how ancestors actually lived. Our ancestors would have never did none of that what he's on right now. They couldn't even imagine, you know, if he was around that time with Judas Maccabees, he'd have got that javelin.
God.
That javelin, that when he on the cover here, you know, parading around, you know, trying to defile the temple, he just straight got that javelin. Because you want to be arrogant and bold. You know, he didn't see that video, what happened to TD Jakes. I don't think he watched that video yet. Don't worry about it, he got it coming. You know. I'm a little, you know, rounded, but you know, when you look at him, ooh, boy, yeah, he got it. Don't even worry about it. Go ahead, enjoy your hand. You know, we gonna see you in the hospital talking about, well, you know, I had a little issue, you know. Yeah, you gonna see him in the hospital uploading a video, talking about how, you know, he had a stroke or, you know, a mild heart attack or something. Don't worry about the Lord. The Lord got it coming. He got it coming for him. You know, they just have to stop. You have to stop, you know, spreading these lies and putting it on the internet across the nation and acting like you are. You just trying to grasp on and making Ashby K job harder than what it needs to be.
Right.
So, understand. So, anyone else anything before we click this? All right. So, like I said again, this is the dashboard discussion. This is episode 1, y'all. We're gonna go live very frequently throughout the weeks. The times are gonna be sporadic, so you better just catch us when you catch us. But you understand. So, like I said again, the brothers in the car with me right now. We got Officer 1000, Warrior. Then we got Officer 1000, Kazai 1, and Officer 1000, Rubber 1, me myself, Officer 5000, Margalla, all out of the Chicago school, under Captain Mall Quad, under Commander Jenny Hanna. This is the Round Table of Truth, Dashboard Discussion, episode 1. Make sure to tune in again. Shalom, Israel. Shalom.